That's what you do to me when I go to the frickin' washroom, man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 seconds?
After that, I just declare the course of gavel to be closed and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness, raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown.
Oh. Oh!
Ready?
We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena. Used to be Alberta, now Saskatchewan. Only 3 more seconds. Ah, so you're choosing to make your life more expensive. Good luck with that, sir. Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain.
The capsule.
Ah, you're right. I think I know what you're talking about. Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut? Yes, Your Honor, actually, there is. There's something in the prosecution has yet to make things clear to this court. Well, if you put it that way. What is it the prosecution has failed to explain? Why the body was moved.
Both of these.
They've explained the motive already.
Oh yeah, true.
Right,
They explain body.
They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why did he put his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge? Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet. That's because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so illogical?
You got a good point there, just don't know. However, I probably have an idea.
Prosecution claimed, but what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong? Let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice. Wendy's needs better fries. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim, he was helping him.
Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here, and I nod off to monotone monologue. Inform him exactly why Spaceboy moved the victim.
Huh. They gotta be joking.
It's simple. Mr. Zabak did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create an impression he heroically risked his life to save his pawn. That's why he made sure to make it to security camera so there'd be a record. Okay, so to create the impression he heroically saved his friend's life, but his friend had a knife in his chest. Huh? Yeah, I just have so many problems with this argument here. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man.
Ah. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful relation of friendship. I've never been to Niagara Falls, even though I'm Canada.
The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds.
He's carrying him on one hand?
Yeah, Clay's probably pretty strong. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames.
I've been to Toronto before,
story for a silver screen.
You boo me all you want, man. I just came back from Japan in August. Indeed, I was completely taken in by the... Oh, too late now.
It's never too late.
By the humanity of the story.
You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
What? How is there a number 3?
What?
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion.
Silence. Indeed, you are correct.
I see.
But that's thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified this and secured the bomb.
Yep.
And that's the bomb that gets brought in as evidence. Got it. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. The steel coffin beside the witness stand is that would be a bomb transport case. We use that to transport the deactivated bomb here. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy.
What? By the way, how's my Athena Sykes voice? I've never...
I'm fine with it. On the second floor of the main building, the one on the launch pad and one in the lounge.
Thank you.
There's been a
Arigato.
plan to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated. For had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely be immolated.
Objection!
Yeah.
Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, you can't, this game is not based on accuracy. Like, that bomb would never be brought into the courtroom. like, come on. There's so many things like that would be like, no.
It's like he's reading my mind.
As it's still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that peculiar item was found in one Mr. Starbuck's pocket. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. Easily could be planted. Easily could be planted.
Especially if he's out. You found what?
I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such a damning evidence. When the Space Center director and Detective Arm stumbled across the murder, so he thought he'd hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain, that is.
Ah. No. Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that.
Justice, Dono. Open your eyes and see the truth.
This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions.
Can we point out the problem with the picture, please?
No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth.
Still can't accept it. You believe in your client. You believe in your client, come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself?
This has got to be a trap. I sense
Mood
a
makers.
awesome game. What's the name of that awesome game with the awesome music?
Mood Matrix.
Move Matrix! Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why did you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then, making a cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Now let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself. Famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck. Hey, what's going on, everyone?
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. How did this happen?
Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony?
No.
Well, unfortunately, no is not an option.
Then why did you ask? Mr. Starbuck, will you be able to give testimony? No. No is not an answer. You will give testimony. Come on, Judge.
You're being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Turan. Please testify to these allegations.
Mind if I take the suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
Silence. It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Banish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Wow, that was super negative. Is he going to be all right up there? He'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. All right, here we go. Seems more uppity now.
All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level, and we headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate.
How did he take the elevator?
How is it Clay passed out now? Unless Mr. Solomon is the one carrying Clay's thing. But that wouldn't make sense. Clay was the only one that would to carry that around. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
So you're certain you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim?
But I bet you think I'm the lion, right?
I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony.
Bull crap. You were already ready to declare him guilty. Shut up. I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut.
I don't think the judge doubts that. Who would wear a suit like that except an astronaut? I will say that when I saw you in that movie. You appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy.
I guess I'm just a big disappointment. Are you okay over there?
I'm dying at this guy's personality, man.
I don't really care what happens anymore.
Oh no, he's completely given up.
What a depressing fellow. For you to join me in the clink. I imagined that annoying sigh of yours would rub me off the other inmates.
Like how it rubbed off in Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago?
Are we not going to talk about the question marks that hug came from?
Huh? But that was Blackwell sighing.
Wait, that was Blackwell?
Blackwell was the one who sighed.
Your irritating sighs are going to irritate the inmates. And the irritated inmates just makes me want to slash you down even faster.
Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun shy now. It's time to find out the truth.
Is this where we do the contradiction I saw?
Well, he said there is one, so there has to be one.
Because, like,
Because he's already carrying something extra. So that's not all he did.
And also, you can't see the hand. You can't see Clay's other hand. Like I'm
Can't
almost
see the
positive
hand.
this
You
is
can't
Clay.
even see the. You can't even see the knife wound. Like always, I took the elevator down the. Wait. How could he take the elevator down the middle level if the bomb went off?
No, he's not talking. He's talking about in the rocket area.
Yeah, like how? It's the elevator's powered. And the bomb's over the elevator.
That is true. But the explosion was in a rocket, but the explosion did hit the elevator.
Right? He said he took the elevator down.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible.
Huh? Was I not being accurate?
No, because it's impossible for you to take the elevator down to the middle level. What makes you say that, Mr. Justice? Please recall when the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames. Oh, you're right, which means... Exactly, the Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is directly inconsistent with the facts. What I don't get is how... What I don't get is, did the first two bombs go off at the same time?
I don't think they did.
Because-
They didn't specify that. Well, I think they did specify it. The explosion sparked a fire on the second floor of the main building. Yeah, it does.
They never specified it.
I'm pretty sure they did, but it's just not any evidence.
What if he took the elevator, but they responded to the bomb in the
On the
elevator
bottom floor.
section, on the bottom floor first to get out? They went up, they seen flame because the bomb went off on the third floor, and then they went into the room. But one of them's already exhausted, like out. So what the hell? What's with the helmet?
Mission command. Mission command. Do you read me? Come in, please.
Objection!
This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck.
My helmet. My oxygen tank.
Hey, this is amazing.
Oxygen concentration and body temperature declining. Requesting medical assistance.
Mood Matrix. Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Thank you. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth.
I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement? About how you use the middle level elevator.
I was nervous and said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think.
A different route?
I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get right to it this time. Maybe. No, I mean, probably. Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court.
Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I, remember now. Took a different route. Maybe. Probably. There's this capsule and Clay in my arms. I made my way down from the up. So he's claiming he held it. Why was he holding the capsule then?
So you're saying it skips without using the elevator? Impossible.
No, there's a ladder there.
Shiro, I want you to carry someone in your hand and hold another thing in your hand and go down a ladder like that with 2 feet.
I know.
It's a ladder. How the frick did he get down? I think we got to press him and make him say the ladder and get a statement there and then counteract it.
They don't. Oh, I just dropped Clay's body off. That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. Use that ladder to get to the middle level. Look, if I hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way.
And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Turan here? Was the capsule that important that you risk your life to take it with you?
It almost goes without saying, but yeah, the capsule contains asteroid samples. Before, it's invaluable as research material. With a spacesuit on, Clay weighed a ton, but securing a capsule was also important.
I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony.
Uh-huh. Maybe I'm guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. I bet it's more comfortable than a spaceship.
Not really. Press the third statement.
Hold it!
The upper level of the launch pad area.
That's right. That's what I said, isn't it?
Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had Clay over in your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand.
Yeah, it's really important, so I couldn't let it get burned up. Even though Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand.
I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet.
You know what you have to do with that statement, Justice Dono.
Yes, I know. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. It's time to present some evidence. So Mr. Starbuck escaped with Clay in the capsule, which means... It's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run, though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could have even walked under those circumstances.
And also, like, that's a lot of burden for someone who supposedly killed someone to do.
Walking straight forward is probably about all I would be able to manage.
That's up. Like, how you carrying a body yourself and a capsule down the ladder?
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth?
I think what's gonna happen here is he's saying everything in the opposite way it happened. He was the one that was knocked out, but he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And that's gonna open up a whole big can of worms. The truth? Let's see. The Earth is blue. That's not true. No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue. Yeah, that's it.
The truth, Mr. Starbuck.
The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. For emergency oxygen tanks.
Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him. Moon Matrix?
No.
Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route.
Huh?
Not as long as this was along the escape route. The ladder.
Take that!
To get down from the upper to the middle level where the launch pad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck?
Of course. That was the only way we could escape.
Objection!
But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Turan over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him over 200 pounds.
Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth.
Objection!
But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other is impossible, wouldn't you say?
Oh.
So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down the ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now.
Engineer! Where's that engineer? Accidentally detected due to fatality.
What the? He's flying the coop!
Help! I'm caught on a sailing. Help! Anyone? How are you getting a cherry picker in here?
Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch our rescue mission at once.
How are you getting a cherry picker in here?
Well, that's one way to take off being questioned. I'd rather prove his innocence so he can go to space again someday for real. Oh, there he is. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground?
Yes. I apologize for losing control.
Are you ready to tell us the truth?
Not that. Anything but that.
What is going on? This isn't Mr. Starbuck, I know.
His pride as an astronaut, that's why. A GPS space boy is prone to deception. Witness. Yikes. Yes? I thought your story was odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as well. The result of a medical side effect. Ah! President Michael, please! Please don't talk about that! The drugs. We didn't get the pills.
No, we did not. What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Didn't I already state the space boy is ironically terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system.
Oh. I sense things are about to nosedive.
Hold it. You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear.
It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it.
He was forced to take it.
How could that be?
Somebody must have slipped him to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened.
Wait, what?
Yeah, him being knocked out is going to prove that he's not the one carrying the victim. It's the other way around.
Order on the corpse. We can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why didn't you just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space.
Maybe I really did do it. Which brings us to the answer of our original question. Of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body.
It does? So what is it?
Dead man feels no pain. Makes no complaints, Justice Dono. Now, I immediately know what he's going to say. He's going to say he dropped the body off, but then there would be signs of a fall on the body, which that's not noted in the autopsy report.
But they're in a spacesuit that can handle impact.
I don't think so. I don't buy it. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder.
Oh my, I see. And the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectable thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself.
So you are capable of quick thinking? Yes, you are correct.
Really? Oh, thanks. Huh? What's this?
It's an oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why.
You can't be implying a rupture when the defendant dropped the victim's body.
I am, for they fracture easily when struck. Are you sure, Blackwell? Are you sure?
But both of them are good.
Are we sure about it?
Hell, his is active.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. Yes, according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found in the victim's body. You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence!
Silence, Justice Dono. A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of such fabric of tomorrow. Fabric is made to protect astronauts from dangers in space. And how did someone stab a knife through it? So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be possible to stab someone through it as well?
It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to the target. That is so consequential, you cannot prove that.
What are the chances?
You forget that our killer is an astronaut himself with knowledge of how the suit works.
You've got me there.
And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in a rocket, then dropped the body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded. There is no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Tehran.
Yeah.
Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the river Styx.
Hey, this report is pretty detailed.
Display on the on the astronomer's left
shoulder
shows oxygen remaining after the incident. The victim's tank was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0. The tank belonged to Starbuck, who claims to have carried the victim. Said it was 80% full. Wait, it belonged to Starbuck. Wait a minute.
That's impossible. Who had a 50% tank? Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. I guess it means that these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank.
I'm done for. I'm going to prison instead of space. Space boy. Yes? Take heart. Take heart. The bedazzled night sky is still beautiful, even when viewed through bars. You mean stars are even seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your space. Picture the views through iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own crack for all time. That's not as half bad as I thought.
Mr. Starbuck. Peter Blackwell got to him good.
Spaceship prison cell. Fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together.
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope.
Oh, yes. Apollo?
You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you're an incredible man. He said you'd never give up on your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation.
He said that?
So don't give up now and help me prove you're innocent. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Turan.
For Clay? You're wasting your breath. Rah! Rah! Gah!
Here we go.
Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now.
Mr. Starbuck.
I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Right. We'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space.
Rah! You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul. I'm on fire. I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you win Clay down. Balderdash. The sun, the moon, all of space is calling me. Solomon Soul Starbuck. I'm ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
1. This is the whole crowd. Lift off. What the?
Is he going up? Okay. Well, I feel like I witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it. You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. I can't take the credit, it was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
Few simpletons are done massaging one another's egos. No matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I am but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right?
Gah, can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space.
Ah.
I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I gotta destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. The only people at the launch pad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck. And if Clay was already dead by the time this footage was taken, then the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself.
We don't know, Ichigo.
Now let's see, about this data that we just received. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. But if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I could use here.
Enough of this farce, your boldness. Let's have your verdict.
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. But about this oxygen tank data you just submitted just now. It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Terran's had 0. Do you stand by the accuracy of this report?
Of course.
Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes.
You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono.
It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Yes, Your Honor, right away. This is the evidence that the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to.
It's gotta be this now.
Yep.
We finally get to point out the fakeness of this video.
Take that!
And how did this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here.
Take that!
Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as he carries Mr. Turan. Oh, it appears to say 50. Yes, but according to data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tank increased? I see, Your Honor finds it strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence!
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the facts that the defendant was carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection!
Yes, it does. Yeah, I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence!
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of mysterious increasing oxygen? You better not disappoint, or it'll declare the inconsistency as mere equivalent malfunction.
Eek.
We have an easy answer.
Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So do you think you could explain why the remaining oxygen level increased?
It never increased. That's the thing.
Of course I can. The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around.
Turn your thinking around. I noticed this the moment the photo was shown.
Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. This man with the 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown an 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not, why did the oxygen level increase? But what had to have to make it look like it increased? And I'm making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here. Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. Yep. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Turan, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Turan at all. It was Mr. Turan who was helping Mr. Starbuck do the boarding out lounge. It was what? Order, order. Mr. Justice. You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Turan? It's the only way to the riddle of increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%.
Also, just thinking of like the situation, like they're getting on a rocket to go into space. Both of those should say 100.
Yeah.
Why is the oxygen tank even turned on yet if they're not like launching yet? Both should be at 100%.
I would say they were pretty much on because there's a fire and they don't want smoke inhalation.
Maybe.
And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, its tank was at 0%. That's right, there's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Turan was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
Silence! How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Ooh, turning it on.
Excuse me.
It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Turan was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims. And opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party.
Grrr!
There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene.
Yo, what up, Fletcher? Got injured by the culprit in the first case. We're still waiting for Tone to become relevant here.
Yeah,
We have
it isn't no spoilers.
Yeah, but no spoilers, obviously. Yeah, this is first place for both of us.
But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see, the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of the first two people on the scene. Score. Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand?
Hold it. Wait. This isn't right. Oh. Speaking of Tone,
I have an announcement to everyone.
he's not typing.
Okay, I have an announcement to everyone. What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Or, please listen to my comment. Listen carefully. Someone has reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode.
Also, wait, she is already dead.
Explode? A bomb now?
Everybody run! I don't want to die!
Oh no, everybody's panicking.
Silence.
Wait, she's in the box?
Is she already in the box? Wait. Hairless chickens was the death wish. A lot of.
Oh, wait, no, she would not be in the box.
No, yeah,
Because-
that's where her body was kept.
Not before the bomb, though. It was like
Yeah,
after the bomb, right? So
No, before
the bomb took place.
she got killed before the trial started. Placed
Put
in
into
the
the box.
for so it would be hidden, and then after the bomb was blasted, he was the first on the scene and he brought it out.
Yeah.
And notice how the judge mentioned summoning her to a witness, and that he immediately was like, nope. So that means he must have the remote trigger. Like it must have gone off on a remote trigger.
Yep. Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. But what about Mr. Starbucks' dream? And who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever.
This music, though.
Good music. Oh, we also didn't get a mood matrix today. I want to play the mood matrix. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're going to die. Come on, this way. Hey, ouch, ouch, let me go.
Apollo.
Juniper, she hasn't evacuated yet? Juniper, are you all right? Apollo, no, not that way. My spleen.